Hello everybody, welcome. We are continuing today our book that we're making, this one right here, with the replaceable inside journal pages. So far we've made the cover, I'll put a link to that, as well as this inside area. So today what we're going to be working on are the first 3 pages. This one, the tuck right here, and this big honkin' page right there. First, before we get going, I want to show you some of the ones I've been working on. This is from my Etsy shop, this particular design right here. You're welcome to look down below, find the link, and get that. But I've been using other paper as well. So that's just from a music page. When I stopped it up, I'm going to make a Christmas theme one. This is from a Christmas theme pack. I haven't decorated that one yet. This one is just a generic one with a piece of ribbon right there. This one's more of a bright colored theme. I think it's a Heidi Swap pad of paper that I'll be using for this one. And that's just the regular one. So I've got a bunch of different varieties that I'm making here. Making them all at once so it's just easy, kind of using the same pattern, and boom, making a bunch for Christmas gifts, for birthday gifts, for me to use, for just whatever I want. So now what we're going to be doing, we're going to be working on the pages that are on the inside of the book. So go ahead and grab your stuff and we'll get going. So if you're following along with the pack that's in my Etsy shop, you want to grab page 4 and cut out this little tag right there at the top of it. If you're using a different pad of paper, you're going to want to cut a strip of paper that is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to be working on this Christmas book today. So if you're working on with some other paper pad, what you're going to want to do is cut your piece of coordinating paper, whatever you want, and you want it 1.5 inches by 2 3/4 inches. So that's looks like that. Once you have that, you want to find the middle of your piece and cut up maybe about 1/2 inch. Give it a slit. Once you have that cut, you're going to go from the side and cut to the center, and you're going to go from the other side and cut to the center. And now you have your piece for the top. I'm going to put that there. My little weight. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to put this in the upper corner. To do that, I'm going to glue it, and then I'm going to still be embellishing the top of it. So I'm going to decorate this top with just some scrap pieces of paper. So I'm going to cut that the same width as my band, which was 1.5 inches, almost did it 2 3/4, and I'm going to layer this on top of each other. Now what I want to do, I'm just going to grab some dots. These are dots that I got from the dollar store. And I'm going to put them on there. Like that. So let me give you a close-up. So that's what that one looks like. And let me also show you what the original book looks like to see, so you can see. On this one I used my hole punch. It's one of the Martha Stewart punches, and created a lacy edge and then put the little embellishments on it. Anyway, so that's that portion. The next thing we want to do is the doily. Now, to be honest, I kind of messed up. I should have put the doily in when I did the binding of it. I would have put that in first, but I was actually, quite frankly, really glad I didn't, because I came up with this other way so that if you want to put doilies on your pages at any time, you can do that. Let me show you the page that I did it on. So here's the doily of the one that I did it on. All I did is I folded over the doily and I glued 1/3. Basically, it's 1/3 of it. Let me show you. Grab my ruler. It's 1.5 inches that I folded over from this, looks like a little over 4 inch, almost 4.5 inch doily. So I folded that over, glued it on, and then I still have that free-flowing doily, but it adds a nice actually addition to the page with the texture right there. So let's go ahead and make one right here so you can see how that's done. So I'm grabbing one. I'm going to fold it in about 1.5 inches. It's about 1/3, so I'm just going to eyeball it and put it where I want it. Right there. Find where I want to position it. I'm going to put it right there. And actually, this makes it nice because you can then look at what you have on the page after you've bound it, and you can put it wherever you want so it's not in the way. At this point, you can either take like your Mod Podge or whatever. I'm just going to take my glue though, and I'm going to put it along my doily. Press it down. Make sure I get those edges. So I'm holding it right there with that hand to make sure I get it in the place that I have it secured at. So I'm pressing that down, and then I'll dry it a little bit with my dryer. So what I did, I have baby powder that I actually keep in my room for using on things that I think I'm concerned they might stick. So with the other one and with this one, I'm just putting a little on there. So it's not very much, and it blends right in with my paper and with the doily, but I put it on there to make sure it's not going to stick when this folds over. Just a little bit nervous about it. So it's just a little safeguard, little trick for you. So there you go. That page is done. I can move on to the next page now. So for this page, what we're going to be doing is making a little corner tuck. So for this next page, we're going to be making this little corner tuck. I cut that out of the pattern right there, cut that out, folded it along the edge of the paper, and then cut the sides of it, and then put the rows on there. That's also in the paper pack. If you're not using the paper pack, grab some paper that you would like, and we're going to make a folded corner tuck. Okay, so what you want to do is select a piece of paper from your paper pack. Cut it 3 inches by 3 inches in a square. This one, I found a pack that had a little trim on the outside already, so that worked out great. Once you have your paper, turn it, if you have this, what we're going to be doing is folding in half like this. If you have a ruler and like something like a stylus, something like this, it makes it easier to fold it if you take your ruler, put it from point to point, and take the large edge or small edges, and then take your stylus and rub it up and down to create that crease. Once you have that crease, fold it, and then fold it in the direction that you want it. Now I'm ready to go ahead and glue it on. Actually, not quite. It is just white in the inside, so I wanted to do a little bit more to the inside here. So I'm just going to take my ink, and I'm also going to stamp on top of it, just to give it a little bit more personality. And this is just a stamp that I have right handy, so I'm going to use that one. It's not anything that I want to stamp really for me. I'm not going to stamp it really bright and pronounced. I just want something that'll create a little bit of texture so that when you open up and see it, it has something going on there, but it's still a place where you can write a little secret note. All right. We've got this, and so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to place glue on the back side, and I'm going to place it just on a V shape, going from the corner. That way, I can place it in the corner, and if I want to tuck in the inside, I am ready to go. Now, if you didn't want to tuck in the side, you could just glue the whole thing down, and then you still have this secret space, but we want to just put some pieces on the inside. This is just a little scrap I have, so I'm just going to tuck it in there just as a little reminder of what I can do. I can put something fun right here, but for now, I'm just going to move on to the next part, because when I go through it later to do final touches, I'll decide what kind of thing I want right there.